Hello, thank you. I appreciate it. You made me look good. I need you to present me all the time. So it's easy to do. So yes, thank you for having me. I get to go first. I have the pleasure of going first. So my topic is resilience. So unbreakable spirit, rising strong, navigating life's challenges through adversity and resilience. I don't think y'all heard me. Adversity and resilience. So if you don't mind, I would like to do a quick poll. You can either stand up or you can raise your hand. But I wanted to see if anyone has experienced any of the following. Okay, this is safe space, yes? We're in good company, yes? Okay, so if you experience any of the following, please stand up or raise your hand. So if you've ever have had any financial issues, concerns, burdens, raise your hand or stand up. If you've ever had your heart broken, please stand or raise your hand. If you've ever experienced the birth of a child as the mother or the father or whatever, please raise your hand. So I feel like everybody's raising their hand. Okay, good job. So if you've ever had any type of injury or illness or been hospitalized for any reason, please raise your hand. What about any issues with work, with school? If you've been a part of any type of team, whether it's athletic team or any type of team at work, please raise your hand. Any issues with that? Okay, so, and then here, I'm just gonna go on with, if there's any issues with, I'm gonna give serious, assault, any issues with discrimination of any kind, any of those things. If you experience any type of adversity at all, please raise your hand. Okay, so we're in good company. So I can go on and on and on, and I can tell you about all these different things that we've experienced in our lifetime, which is adversities and trials and tribulations, which we will never not have any. These things will happen regardless of what we do, right? So how do we handle those things? How do we move on? And how do we cope with those different things in our lifetime? So I want to share a story, real quick story, about a little black girl that was born in the South, but she ended up, oh, I'm supposed to be using these slides. There we go. Here's my story. Okay. Young black girl was born in the South, but was raised in the Midwest. Mother and father, they were married. Brother about a year and a half older than her. So, born in the South, but raised in the Midwest in a predominantly white college town. Her parents were part of the civil rights movement in the late 60s, early 70s. They decided to move into a predominantly white neighborhood to raise their two kids. In the predominantly white neighborhood, they had some diversity. They had the black family, which was us, and they had the Hispanic family. So growing up in a predominantly white society in the schools, me and my brother were used to being the one of the two in the school of color, the one of the two in athletic events and different things of that nature. So that was the norm for us. That's what we knew. And it felt fine because we had family there in that town. It felt fine. So upon graduating from high school, she decided, I need to find myself. I want to be around people my age that kind of look like me or kind of doing some of the same things that I like to do. So she decided to go to a historically black college and university, HBCU. There's two in the Midwest, one in Missouri, one in Oklahoma. She went to the one in Missouri, and it took her, it's about 3.5, 4-hour drive. So going to this school, so excited, right? So we all know, if we're in the college environment, that college starts the end of August. Homecoming at an HBCU is in October, which is literally 3-4 months once you start school. Where do they do that at? Freshman year, away from home? Needless to say, homecoming week which I still go back any chance I get. We didn't go to classes. We hung out. We were loud in the halls. That year, she majored in partying, which was me. Minored in marketing, which is me again. So that first year was kind of rough, right? So grades started to fall. I remember a call from my mom. If you don't get your grades up, this is a phone call. Do you want to come home? No, I don't want to come home. I'm having too much fun. So got my grades back up the following year, but then the next year, into sophomore year, end up getting married in college, having a child in college. So, and I was a cheerleader at the time, and when my stomach started to show, I couldn't cheer anymore, so I was doing a little bit of everything, right? So, still had good grades, but graduated in 5 years. Yeah, I was on the 5-year plan, but I did it, so what? I did it. So, graduated in 5 years, decided to move back home with a young baby, almost toddler, husband, moved back home to the Midwest and pursued graduate work, and eventually, about a couple years later, ended up having another child, 2 girls. Still married, but things happen. People grow apart. End up getting divorced a couple years later and raising 2 young girls as a single mom. So as life goes on, continue to work my profession and do some other things. I continue to go on and on and on. So when we talk about adversity, we talk about resilience, and that was just a quick snapshot of my life story in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. How was I able to continue to move on? How did I get through the divorce and the school and still be here and have a smile on my face and still be able to do the things I do? Resilience. It has to be that I have the resilience to be able to go on. So let's get a better understanding. Yeah, I'm fancy. Let's get a better understanding of adversity and resilience. Okay, so let's start with some definitions. Adversity, a state of instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. Examples: getting a divorce, having a child, failing grades, almost getting kicked out of school. We can go on and on and on, and we can talk about all the different things that are adversity, different challenges in our lifetimes, right? Let's understand what resilience means. So here's a definition. The process and outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences. So don't get this confused. Resilience doesn't mean that problems won't happen or challenges won't happen. But how do we cope? How do we adapt? How do we find resolutions to get through them, to get past them so that we can handle stress better so we can move on? That's what's resilience. I also think about resilience as the ability to overcome anything and everything. That's resilience. I think I have a nice little quote here. Persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. Yes, true. So then I thought about, how did I get through these things? So I've come up with some strategies of how I've been resilient to everything. Now, we step back. Adversity, sometimes when we have different things that go on in our lives, we feel sad. We have different emotions. So we feel sad. We feel angry. We feel mad. We feel disappointed. We feel overwhelmed. We have grief and we have pain. But how do we continue to go on, and be resilient through everything? So some of the strategies, one of the biggest things for me is support. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. So support is huge. So having and building healthy relationships with other people are so important. I would not have went back to school if it wasn't for my kids saying, it's your time, you need to go, you do so much as a single parent. Excuse me, let me get myself together. So yes, so this is a good thing. So support is huge, but have that support of other people to support you through your endeavors. And I also tell people too, also be a supporter, support other people. You know, folks will say, what do you need? Don't ask them what they need, just do. Just do. So support is one of the key factors for me, and I feel like support is a key factor for all of us. If you don't have it in a family, find it in a friend. If you don't have it in a friend, find it in a colleague. If you don't have it in a colleague, find it in a teacher or a coach. Find that support that you need to move on and push on through everything. Second, purpose. What is your purpose in your life? Why are we here? Find meaningful purposes every day. Set realistic goals that you can accomplish. I probably wasn't supposed to go back and get my ED 10 years ago, but this was the time. So set realistic goals and purposes for yourself. Third, self-care. Are you taking care of yourself? It is okay to be selfish. During COVID, I learned how to play golf, which I'm probably getting the wrong swing here because I get mixed up with hitting a baseball. I learned to play golf. During COVID, I used to teach spin classes indoors. We got a bike, started riding bikes outside. So how do you take care of yourself? It's okay to be selfish and to take care of yourself. Self-awareness. So how do we get through these things and understand what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are? So be aware of those things so that you can set realistic goals of what things that you need to accomplish. So be aware of the things you need to work on so that you can handle those stressful situations better. It's my last one, which you know I love. Well, if anyone knows me. Positivity. Be optimistic. Be positive. Have a positive attitude every day. If it hurts you, cry. Smile. I'm going to say cry. Smile as much as you can. Say nice things to other people. Say nice things to yourself. Positive affirmations. I'm a firm believer in positive affirmations. So think positive about yourself. Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need to help, and brave enough to ask for it. Okay? So those are some of the strategies. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think being resilient can be developed? Can it be taught? Are some people just born resilient? Is that a possibility? I think it's a possibility. So overall, I think the characteristics of a resilient person, some maturity to some extent, responsible, optimistic, adaptable, cooperative. So I think that's some of the different traits of a resilient individual. But here's a whole bunch of other ones. And if you see all these, can you not say that you know someone, if it's not yourself, that is resilient? We all know some people that are resilient. Yes? Okay, good. So, step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you're willing to create. Okay? Positive affirmations. So, I just mentioned that I'm a positive. I feel like I'm a positive person. I try to be as positive as possible because it helps me too as well. So I'm a firm believer of positive affirmations. But I came up with my own resilience mantra. And I'm going to encourage each one of you to do the same and say it every day. Okay. So, my resilience mantra. I am strong. I am confident. I am optimistic. I am proud. I am happy. I am grateful. I can overcome anything and everything. I'm enough. I am resilient. I am resilient. Thank you.